Hey, how's it going? Jesse here, student, still going hard. I work at World Curry down PB. I'm on break this week, so I have a lot of time to devote to self-development and improving myself, which I'm all in about, man. I try to get better every day in every way, so to say, to quote Amali Coot. I like today's video. Honestly, the second half, I'm not going to say I'll never take or buy those trains from Chris Howard, but I'm gonna see where the first one gets me before I leap on that ship. Like, oh, let me buy. No, I'm a man for results. So depending on the results I get from this actual training, that'll determine my future course of action. You kind of gotta evaluate where you are before you decide where you want to go. At least in my book, that's how I navigate. So I really like the discussions on the different levels of change in the hierarchy. When he was talking about changing the environment and using the prison reference, it reminded me of this book I read on operant conditioning called Don't Shoot the Dog. Operant conditioning, if you have ever researched it, is fascinating. And it's very similar to NLP. I mean, not so much in its uses and methods, but it's all about changing how you feel towards a particular situation simply by changing a response to a certain situation. It's just the mechanisms of change are slightly different. Operant conditioning uses external stimuluses like rewards, treats, to encourage a certain type of behavior and make that more pronounced, whereas NLP it's more of an internal phenomenon. It seems, at least from what I've been researching. I've been reading this really fascinating book, Frogs into Princes, by Richard Bandler. He's pretty much the founder of NLP, and I'm getting very, very fascinated. As a Buddhist, I always strive to practice mindfulness meditation, and researching NLP and then reading these books and watching these videos, it's helping me to realize that I can take my mindfulness meditation to a far, far deeper level. And the deeper I go down the rabbit hole, it's like the more aware I become, so to say. It's like Alice in Wonderland. I'm crawling deeper inside of every interaction, sight, touch, scent, feeling. And I'm discovering a whole new world of layer and depth that previously I've been unaware of, I guess because I was too busy focusing on internal dialogue and internal events to really stop and notice what was presently going on around me. And so now more or less my lease on life is completely changing, and I feel that by developing my sensory acuity and ability to perceive clearly what's going on around me, I can more clearly and accurately make appropriate representations internally and give myself more freedom of choice of how to respond or what to perceive or how to adapt to whatever situation arises. And I can also achieve a far greater level of control over the internal processes and how I respond to situations. So I'm very, very grateful, if anything, for this course so far, that the notion that by improving my awareness I can improve all aspects of my life, because honestly you can't know a good thing if you don't really notice it, so to say. And I'm starting to notice a lot more to a much greater depth and level than previously before. Another feeling I have towards the video, I know I'm going over, I mean, if you're in this far and you feel like keeping listening, and by all means, thanks for hearing what I have to say. But I feel that a lot of these programs, like he's advertising getting certified as a trainer and a coach, it seems to me, within the American economy at least, that production is going down. Like, we aren't really so much an economy based off production nowadays, because most production jobs have gone overseas, cheaper labor, so on and so forth. So it seems that the service industry and coaching, not just like weightlifting, but life coaching, seminars, so on and so forth, are becoming more and more prominent, but I'm left with this curious feeling that if this is the new market within our economy, you know, how much infrastructure does that really provide? You know, even if I get in that field, eventually, how's that might make me money, but how does that really make the world better, or at least my country better? If I'm just telling this person, yeah, think positive, do this, have this mentality, you can go out and go forth and do anything, well, I think that goes back to the whole value system 6. So I tell them all these things, but then what results, what can they produce? Yeah, they can help everybody, but how is that really going to help someone create more money? I mean, maybe I can teach someone to enjoy their quality of life more in what they're doing, but if I was to go out and say, hey, this is what I do, you should start doing this, and I'm a coach, well, there always has to be a student, someone to learn, there has to be someone to produce, there has to be farmers, there has to be so on and so forth. So I feel like ultimately, maybe 20, 30 years down the line, the economy is going to crumble, and everybody can't be at the top. It's just a simple fact of life. You know, you have to have rungs to a ladder. So I want to find something that's sustainable, at least as far as a profession or a career. And with my weightlifting, I feel there's always going to be a demand for health, but I'd also like to help other people and help the environment, my community. So I can't help but be curious how the present situation of things could be made more stable, at least as far as a projection into the future could be concerned, you know? I don't want to just tell everything, see on somebody everything's going to be okay. I'd like to be able to, hey, here's charts and graphs and a plan, man. Oh well. I guess I need to research more into economics and develop a greater awareness of how economic systems and theories work. Anyways, best of luck to you guys that are still on the challenge. I'm loving the videos, I'm loving the support. Thanks Madonna, thanks Chris, Josh, Bud, all you guys are awesome. I'm loving your posts. Keep at it. Take care.